Hey, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show to the sound and the drones of the generators.
And there's a lot of them going on over there. I don't know what all they're doing, vacuuming their cows or blowing off or what.
Well, coming up here in a real quick period of time, they've just finished the poultry show broiler judging. That's done. They're going to move into the poultry barn to do the breeding poultry.
Okay.
They're getting the ring set up now because the big animals are going to be going in there. So it's 9:30 is the breeding heifer show, and then at 10 o'clock is the market cattle show, and that is the last of the animal shows that'll be at the fair. The lead class, which is a fashion show, is at 5 o'clock, and the little kids getting their wool outfits.
Oh, yeah.
With their little sheep.
Aww.
And they've got like 2 different age groups, and there'll be 3 or 4 kids, boys and girls, and they get all dressed up, and they look like they're little sheep, and they'll have a little show ring with hay bales and decorations and everything, and so the little kids will kind of parade around. It's a little fashion show is what it is. And then they'll have a pecan auction, and then tonight is the bull riding and the concert. Then tomorrow, the kids get in the ring with the pigs and pretend to show pigs, the little kids.
Hey, but you know what? They're very serious about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is big time stuff.
That's right. And then at noon is the chili cook-off and the ice cream competition tomorrow. The Jack Roush anvil toss. So they get a little anvil and they have to see how far they can throw it.
Okay.
And then at 4 o'clock tomorrow, it will be the 4-H and FFA awards presentation. So all the awards that they've gotten for the exhibits in the exhibit building, or the animals through the different classes and stuff like that, they get their buckles and all that kind of stuff. They call it to order like an FFA meeting, and they follow Robert's Rules of Order.
Very good.
Oh, I mean, it is
down to the T, huh?
Absolutely. And then at 6 o'clock tomorrow night will be the 4-H and FFA Junior Livestock Auction. There's usually around 120 animals or so that get auctioned off. And instead of doing the show, the sale on a Saturday morning, they're doing it on a Saturday night.
And it brings in big money.
It does. It's
big
a huge
money.
event. Huge event.
Yes.
You probably need one of these, Linda. The raffle ticket is $1, and they're giving away a Portacool Jetstream 250.
Oh, wow.
So you can put that in the back of your clean and beautiful pickup truck, fill it up with water, and as you and the kids are going down the alleyways and parks of Artesia picking up trash, you can have all this cold air blowing on you.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
That not going to happen?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know, you got to rough it sometimes.
Well, and I think what's hard for a lot of people is getting in and out of an air-conditioned car when it's really hot.
Well, once in a while you open the door and you feel like you've poked your head in the oven, you know. But we're fortunate that we don't have horrible humidity all the time.
Right.
Because there are, states that are so humid you walk outside to your mailbox and you're soaking wet before you get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would not be fun. I don't know how you could get used to it.
Well, you do.
I have no idea.
I bet there's people back east that wonder how we get used to being so dry all the time.
Oh, yeah. Of course, people back east have fabulous skin, too. I've got cousins, they don't wrinkle. Their skin is wonderful looking because it's humid all the time. That moisture is great. And we crack up like old mud.
We live down on the coast of Alabama, down on the Gulf Coast, and first thing we had to do was run out and buy insulated glasses. Because every glass that you had, when you fill it up with water or tea, it just sweats.
Sweat like a mad thing, yeah.
And, so you get the insulated cups, and we had big ones and medium-sized ones. We had tons of insulated cups to keep from having just a sweaty mess when we put our drinks on the table. So you get used to it, I guess. I still have never
Or you tolerate it.
I still have cracks in my skin.
So does everybody.
And I've been here, forever, and with the dryness.
Oh, yeah.
I've never fully acclimated to
It's called moisturizer, and you slather it from head to toe.
I know, but it's
You become an oil slick almost.
that's right. You know, we were talking. Linda Stevens from Artesia Clean and Beautiful is here, and we were talking about just trash in general and how people need to pick it up. I have seen some people going out and getting weeds, but there's still a lot of new weeds. out
I
there.
took a picture of the fence across the driveway from me because the weeds are at least a foot or more above the fence. The fence is probably 6 foot tall. Now the person that lives there obviously is, well, it is a rental, but they're very young and very lazy apparently, because the whole backyard is, you can tell, because now they're peeking up above the. That's ridiculous, people, because first of all those seeds that are on top of those weeds are going to be on the ground, and guess what? You're going to get them back next year.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Now they're green and they're not falling. If you get out there and cut them down and properly dispose of them,
Right.
you will alleviate some of that problem. But you know, they all start as little bitty seeds, and when you
Yep.
see them come up, think, "Oh, I got to get these now."
Now, I heard this week that one of the things that apparently there's a shortage of, and it never ceases to amaze me how many different shortages that we have going on around the country right
Oh
now.
yeah, and it's all COVID's fault, right?
It's all COVID's fault. You know, the firefighters out in California are having trouble getting jet fuel to run the planes that are dropping the stuff.
Oh my
on the ground
gosh.
to put the fires out.
Well, isn't that what we manufacture right here?
Yeah, but I guess, you know, we must be the only ones. I was told it's hard to get chemicals like Roundup
Oh my.
and the other generic
Yeah,
variants
yeah.
Of that chemical. Why is there a shortage of that? I don't understand.
Well,
Because everybody's talked about the chip shortages.
you go back to the manufacturing plant who doesn't have enough workers because they're making more on unemployment than they are working. Therefore, they're not producing as much,
That
which
could be part of it.
generates the shortage.
That could very well be a big part.
Yeah.
Of it. No,
Yeah,
you're
they
exactly
didn't do any favors for this country, giving megabucks more per week on unemployment.
right.
I don't have a problem with people being on unemployment when you have an issue and lose a job or you're laid off or whatever. I do have a problem with them giving you extra money where you're making more than what you were doing when you were working.
Right.
There's no incentive to go back to work.
The theory behind it when it was originally done last year was that the government recommended and the states enacted shutdowns. Nobody had work. Layoffs. There was no work. If you wanted to go to work, there wasn't any work to go to because of the shutdowns and the layoffs. So the government said, here's some money in lieu of working, in addition to your unemployment benefits, because unemployment benefits were never designed to be as much money as what you would make when you normally
Well, no,
work.
no.
It was to tide you by until you found
Right.
another job. Okay, so that, for most people, was a legitimate justification for doing it last year. All right, here we are, 2021. The economy is open. Businesses are open. Jobs are available. Why are we paying people
Yeah, that needs to
extra
be
money?
cut off a long
Because-
time ago.
Right. The reasoning for it last year doesn't exist
No.
today.
No, businesses are hurting now because they cannot find work, and not just right here in Artesia.
Oh, it's all over.
everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you can't stay open if you don't have enough people.
That's right.
And if you want to go out and eat, if you want to go to the bar, if you want to go to the shops, and they're not open or open regular hours because they don't have enough people to work, well, get off your backside and go get a job and be productive.
Yeah.
That's what this country's about.
Yeah. You know, and they did the same thing with the renters being able to
Not get
evict
evicted.
people who haven't been paying their rent.
Yeah.
Okay, a year ago, people were told they can't work because of the virus. People weren't working. People were laid off. And so it was completely understandable that some people who didn't have any reserves of cash
Right.
or burned through what they had were now in a situation where they didn't have any money to be able to pay their rent or pay their utility bills. So the government came in and said you can't evict, you can't cut off.
Right.
All right, it's 2021.
Yeah.
And they're still talking about extending those moratoriums. And what's sad about it, and I don't care whether you think property's owned by a slumlord or not, the fact of the matter is there's expenses involved in owning that property.
Oh, yeah. And they may still have mortgage payments that they have to meet.
Exactly.
It's a chain reaction. Nothing's coming in, but hey, I've still got to pay the mortgage. I still have to pay the
That's
property
right.
tax. I still have to pay insurance. I still have to pay maintenance. Well, when you're not getting anything coming in, are all of these other people going to, oh, that's okay. You don't have to pay the gas bill, the light bill, the garbage bill, you know. That's not the way it works.
That's not in the legislation, to my understanding.
Yeah,
You know,
you're just
because
kind of
If
SOL.
you own the property, you're some evil slumlord son of a gun. And look, there are some people that are like that.
Well, that's
There's no
true.
question
That's
about
true.
it.
Yes.
But that's not everybody that's in that
No,
position.
we're talking big apartment complexes and,
Yeah.
you know, not just little house here and there.
Right.
We're talking, you know, that applies to cities and big cities around the country.
Sure. Municipalities have to have money coming in to pay the garbage collection and the wastewater treatment plants and the sewer plants.
But
which
do
I
you
guess
think
is
there's
same.
anybody in Washington, D.C. that's smart enough to figure this out?
Well, there has been some money. I mean, in New Mexico alone, they got nearly $1 trillion in funds to help the school districts get through the COVID stuff. Now, some of that apparently went to that lady in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, is that not a joke and a mess?
There's a lot of that money that went to things that, you know, Pelosi got somebody bailed out in New York, and, you know, that's not, I'm sorry. Don't
Yeah.
attach things to bills that you want to get passed because it benefits you
Yeah.
and your pocketbook.
Oh, it's pretty crazy how a lot of that stuff is going on, like that billion. Yeah, billion is what I think I said billion, almost $1 billion. Yeah.
Well, I'm one that thinks,
$937 million, which is close to $1 billion, that's come from the federal government just to New Mexico for New Mexico schools. That's one state.
yeah.
Almost $1 billion.
And
so
there's
you can
49
imagine.
more of them.
Exactly right. So there's a lot of this that government is attempting to be compassionate and help out people in need, but the percentage of people that are in true need versus the rest of the population that in many cases just winds up taking advantage of it,
Right.
it's really kind of a shame. So
Well, I think when they have a bill that's going to get passed, that bill should be a standalone bill. Don't attach all these other little things to it that you want. Just
yeah.
so you know that they're going to have to pass it with all these attachments to it so that you benefit. No, that is so wrong.
Or if you vote against it,
Then you're the bad
you
guy.
Get, you get hammered. You know, well, you must hate the troops because you voted down this bill. And it's like, no, I didn't vote down the bill because I hate the troops. I voted down the bill because I didn't want the other $37 billion in pork barrel spending that was going to go to the,
Yeah.
the waste of time. I don't know, Linda. I don't know what we're going to do with all this. Lana was reading an article. There's people that are training dogs. Maybe this is what they can retrain the drug dogs for, since they have to retrain or retire all the drug dogs. Because if they hit on marijuana in a state where marijuana is
Wow.
legal, you're throwing out the court cases on,
Yeah,
on
but
the
if
serious drugs.
So you're packing marijuana and a little bit of cocaine and heroin and everything else, and they're going to ignore you?
You don't think
no.
they know to do that? Of course they know to do that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But
You
that's what
can't
they're going to
retire
do.
the
So
drug
here's what they're
dogs.
training the dogs to do: is you know where they have all the windmill farms?
Mm-hmm.
The dogs run around and find all the dead wildlife that has been knocked down and killed
Oh,
by
my.
the birds, so that they can be scooped up and cleaned up before anybody shows up to go, why do we have these windmills and we're killing all these birds? We're worried about the prairie chicken. We're worried about the snail darter. We're worried about the hooted owl or the spotted owl or the hoot owl or whatever the heck
Whatever
it is.
he is. And the prairie chicken and the stupid
Yeah,
lizard.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to list them, endanger them, whatever it is. But at the same time, we're building these massive acres and acres and acres of these giant fans that are just chopping up birds and bees and
Oh yeah.
monarchs and all this other kind of wildlife. But we don't talk about that.
Mm-mm.
We can't talk about that.
No, and that there's nothing to do with it when one breaks.
Yeah.
You know, you can't recycle it. There it
No, but
sits.
you bury the blades.
Won't that be special?
Yeah.
You know,
have to go
100
to
years from now, the archaeologists are going to say, what was wrong with these
Yeah.
people?
You have to go to a landfill area and you have to bury them because they're not like biodegradable.
No,
like
no.
the straws that you get in the modern day cups you get at some
And those
coffee
suckers
places.
are huge. We saw, when I had the kids, we were coming up the street one day, and here came this huge giant truck with, you know, the lead vehicle oversized, and it was a blade, and then here came another one with a blade. They're huge. If you've never seen them up close, it's unreal.
Yeah.
And then if you get to see a truck hauling the sections of the tower,
Right.
it's, you know,
So how big are the
amazing.
trucks? How many trucks are there? How much fuel is used? You have the
Oh, yeah.
pilot car. You've got the truck itself. You've got
And
the
the-
pilot car behind it
Yes.
for each blade,
Yes.
for each section of the van.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our environmentally friendly way to go to save the earth.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I read, and it's been a long time, that one of those windmills will never recoup enough energy for the cost of what it took to create it. Well, how stupid is this?
Yeah, but Linda, you're not seeing the big picture.
Oh, yeah, I am.
It's okay if the windmill kills the bees and the birds because we're saving the environment.
Yeah, sure we are.
And we won't have any bees to pollinate all the flowers
Or the food.
or the food,
Yeah.
and we won't have any birds to sit in the trees and chirp when we're out in the wonderful.
And eat bugs and all that stuff. And
Exactly.
you know, we can't mess with the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Because there's a chain reaction, and when you take one part of it out, though I still don't know what mosquitoes are good for, I think we could eliminate those. But you take something out of the chain, and there is a reaction, and
Yeah.
it screws up the whole
It does.
line. Yeah.
It does. We're told all the time about what's happening to the bees, but we build giant windmills.
Yeah, so we can wipe them out.
You know, we're told all the time you shouldn't buy an iPhone because of child slave labor. But where is all the rare earth minerals? Where are they mined and where are they refined? And what is the process that is involved in the mining and the refining of the rare earth minerals that go in all these electric batteries and electric motors in these windmills? But we're not allowed to talk about that
No.
because we're saving the environment.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I just,
And you can't recycle batteries. You can't bury them. So there they sit in a
Yeah.
field in the vehicles.
if your car
you can't
caught
do
fire,
anything.
if your car caught fire and the fire department had to come out and put the fire out, it'd probably take about 5,000 gallons of water to put it out. If your electric car caught fire because of the electric batteries and all that
Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
it could take 25,000 gallons of water to put that fire out. And we hear news stories very frequently
Yes.
about electric cars catching fire.
Yes.
We don't hear hardly as near as many cars catching fire. I'm not
Right.
saying that cars don't catch fire.
Right. Because it happens.
It happens, but you don't hear as much of it
No,
happening as you
no.
do the electric cars. So it takes more water, and it takes a special training on the part of the firefighters to learn how to put out an electric car fire.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good for the environment.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to understand how that is better for the environment than me just getting in my pickup truck with my diesel engine in it, going
Uh-huh.
to the service station, throwing 20 gallons of fuel in it, and
Mm-hmm.
driving 500 miles. I don't understand how it's worse for the environment.
And if you pose that question in front of some wonderful politician, they would not know how to answer that. And Biden would probably say, that's too hard of a question. You can't ask that. Like
hear
he
the-
does on things.
Did you
Yeah.
hear the Jeff Dunham joke? Walter dresses up as Joe Biden, and Jeff Dunham says, "What do you think about the Delta variant?" And Walter, as Joe Biden, says, "Well, I think that was Chuck Norris's best movie." That's a Jeff Dunham joke, folks. I laughed when I heard it.
I
too.
really like Chuck Norris too.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Linda, we got a couple minutes left here before I got to call Aaron. Anything going on with the Clean and Beautiful right now?
Well, we still have Yard of the Week, so you know they are green right now, whether it be from whatever. But yes, if you know somebody or see a beautiful yard that you know the curb appeal is, you just want to go and ooh and ah, give me a call and an address, and we'll go check it out and see if they would be receptive to having a sign or a photo. Some people don't want it. That's fine, you know, but we will ask and let them have a refusal if they so choose. But we've had some beautiful ones nominated. You know, there's some good looking out there, and people seem to be happy that they were recognized.
Good. Well, it hasn't been as brutally hot.
No, it's a little better
And
now.
we've had a little more moisture this year. So.
Oh yeah, you walk out in your yard in the morning, it's like a swamp. I mean, 85% humidity. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, don't try to mow that early in the morning. No, it's going to gum up your mower or something terrible.
That's right.
But if you do decide, give me a call. Call the office, 748-3192. And you'll probably have to leave a message,
Okay.
you know, because I tell you, I can sit there all day and the phone doesn't ring. And I walk out for 2 minutes. And, yeah, ran to the garbage can the other day. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The universe knows.
I know it does. It's magic. There's something there at the door, but yeah.
So that's good. All right, well, nominate those yards of the month or yards of the week, right?
Yard of the week.
Yard of the week. Nominate those, and because if there's a lot around, and I'm sure there are, they need to be recognized.
Yes, and in the meantime, get out and clean up your weeds, people, please. We can't see garbage, the dumpsters. We can't see the gas meters, which is the big hazard.
Yep.
So besides, varmints love to hide in all of that. I'm talking the four-legged kind, like skunks. So.
And don't forget the snakes.
Yeah, that too.
Yep.
Yes. So please clean up. We want our community to look wonderful, and you can put all the statues and murals and have a beautiful downtown. But if the rest of it looks like nobody cares, that does leave a bad impression.
That's what they're going to see.
Yeah.
That's
what
the
they'll
first
see.
They're
It's not like, oh, that mural on the, you know,
yeah,
on 5th Street there at the end of the building by the vacant lot it is fabulous. You need to go by and see it. It used to be Cowgirl's Closet. Now I think it's Bulldog Delivery, and I probably don't have that name right, but it's right across from Kith and Kin. That mural is gorgeous.
It is.
And then there's one on the side of the old Bryan Printers, which if you're standing at La Fonda and you look east, there it is. You can't miss it. Beautiful, beautiful.
Yep.
But if there's 5 pieces of trash and a couple of water bottles laying right in front of somebody, that's what they're going to see.
Like right over there. So.
Yeah.
All right, Linda, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a break, see if we can figure out if we can hear Aaron, because we're going to have the issue with the blowers and everything. But, oh, yeah. Hey, but it's the Eddy County Fair. They are busy. All right, we'll be back in just a moment here on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. We'll be right back.